Hello and welcome to Vietnam Today. Let's check our headlines for this hour. Construction of Twin Guang Hazan Expressway begins. Boeing to expand manufacturing in Vietnam. Vietnamese-born filmmaker win Best Director at Kênh. Top news: the National Assembly draft resolution on piloting mechanisms and policies for Ho Chi Minh City's development would create conditions for the city to fulfill its role of leading the nation in economic development. Minister of Planning and Investment Nguyễn Chí Dũng said at the National Assembly meeting session.
Minister of Planning and Investment Nguyễn Chí Dũng said that the draft resolution aimed to enhance Ho Chi Minh City's development, establishing exceptional and outstanding mechanisms and policies, creating a legal framework to unleash the city's potential, and addressing the city's socio-economic development bottlenecks. The draft resolution consisted of 7 groups of mechanisms and policies with 44 specific provisions. In addition, there were 4 groups of new policies addressing investment, finance and budget, land management, planning, and organization structure. The city could use its public investment capital from its budget to entrust the Vietnam Social Policy Bank to provide loans for poverty reduction and employment solutions.
Now, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the groundbreaking ceremony of the first phase of the Twin Guang Hazan Expressway as part of his visit to the northern mountainous province of Hazan on May the 28th. The 104-kilometer expressway has a total investment capital of $136 million, and the first phase that runs through Hazan province is expected to be completed by 2025. The Prime Minister said once operational, the expressway will create an economic corridor from Hanoi to Hazan, significantly contributing to socio-economic development in combination with national defense towards comprehensive cooperation between Vietnam and neighboring China. Now, American aviation giant Boeing plans to increase its investment in Vietnam for making aircraft parts and equipment. Steve Biegun, its Senior Vice President for Global Public Policy, discussed the plan with Vietnamese Minister of Industry and Trade Nguyễn Hồng Diên on the sidelines of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework.
Boeing's Biegun outlined Boeing's 3 main directions in Vietnam: deepening commercial relations with airlines, cooperation in specific fields such as helicopters and transportation, and investing in developing the supply chain of aviation spare parts and equipment. Minister Nguyễn Hồng Diên applauded Boeing's wish to build a strategic cooperation relationship in Vietnamese market. He stated the fact that there are both Vietnamese and foreign companies making parts for Boeing in Vietnam, but the Vietnamese companies mostly make low-value items. Minister Nguyễn Hồng Diên called on Boeing to speed up training and technology transfer in Vietnam. He assured Vietnam has mechanical manufacturers who are potential partners for Boeing, and his ministry would provide support for them to link up.
Deputy Prime Minister Lê Minh Khái has just signed a decision approving the strategy on development of Vietnam's rice export market until 2030, which aims to develop and diversify rice export markets with a reasonable, stable, and effective scale market and product structure.
Under the strategy, Vietnam will consolidate traditional and key export markets and develop new and potential ones, and those with which it has sought free trade agreements. The country also targets increasing the market share of Vietnamese rice in markets, especially in developed countries. Vietnam will also associate the export markets with domestic production according to value chains, ensure the quality and safety of exported rice, increasing the presence of Vietnamese rice and products processed from rice in direct distribution channels in markets. Specific goals are increasing added value, improving the value of exported rice, and reducing export volume by 2030, to about 4 million tons with a turnover of about $2.62 billion.
Coming up next, Vietnamese-born filmmaker wins Best Director at Cannes. Developing Bạc Liêu tourism into a cultural destination. Now, Vietnamese-French filmmaker Chen Eng Hong won the Best Director prize at the 76th Cannes International Film Festival for La Passion de Dudin Buffon on May the 27th.
Chen Eng Hong's The Port of Fall was adapted from French author Marcel Roux's 1924 novel, The Passionate Epicure. Set in 1885, the film depicts a romance between a chef named Eugénie and the gourmet named Dodin, who have worked together for 20 years. Previously, on May 26, Chen Eng Hong received a 70-minute standing ovation after the film premiered at Cannes. Born in 1962 in the center city of Da Nang, Chen Eng Hong has affirmed his reputation in European and international cinema. He has established himself as the Vietnamese-born film director to win the most international awards so far. Meanwhile, the prize for Best First Film went to Inside the Yellow Cocoon Shell by Vietnamese writer and director Phạm Thiên Ân.
Now, Bạc Liêu is among provinces in the Mekong Delta with typical cultures. It is also an area of cultural convergence between the Kinh, Hoa, and Khmer ethnic groups, as shown by unique cultural works with their own beautiful features. Possessing local cultural resources, Bạc Liêu is gradually become a cultural destination for tourists in the southwest region.
Every day, this memorial site, which is dedicated to Don Ca Tai Tu, or Southern amateurs singing, and musician Cao Văn Lo, attracts a large number of domestic and foreign visitors. The memorial house is one of the first one commune, one product tourism products in the Mekong Delta region. Bạc Liêu was once home to affluent landlords with children whose lavish lifestyles gave rise to many anecdotes about princes. Another tourist attraction in Bạc Liêu is a century-old villa showcasing extravagant living from the past. The house has been newly painted and had amenities added to serve visitors, but still retain its classic Western architecture. Bạc Lieu's tourism is also associated with products related to spiritual culture and famous religious establishments. The province is gradually finding a name as an attractive cultural tourism destination.
And today's bulletin has come to an end. Thanks for watching and see you.